Mercedes makes it pretty easy to change your tires, and we're going to walk you through how to do that. First, locate your jack and your spare if that's the case. In this case, we're going to put the good tire back on after it had been replaced. But Mercedes gives you a little kit to change your tires with. You've got some white gloves so you don't get your hands dirty. We'll set those aside. You've got your lug wrench, and you've got your jack. Again, consult your owner's manual first and foremost. If you're thinking about doing this, the owner's manual tells you exactly how to do it. Also included in this kit is a tire chalk, which we'll use right now. Tire chalk, always chalk your wheels, regardless of if you think you're on a level surface or not. Set the parking brake. A few other items that you might want to pay attention to is, never get underneath the car. Never put your hands underneath the car, particularly when it's jacked up. But I like to loosen all of the lug nuts just a little bit, get them unseated, I guess, before I jack the car up so that I'm not moving the car around while it's on the jack. On our car, we've got anti-theft devices, so you'll need a special key for one of the lug nuts, which should come with your car. Again, consult your owner's manual to figure out where you should be jacking your car up. It'll always tell you. Owner's manuals will always tell you where the appropriate place is to put a jack. And in this case, there's a specific slot that this little polymer foot rests in, and that's where you jack it up. It couldn't be simpler. Jack the car up to where the wheel is just off the ground. You don't want to get it any higher. Once it's up, then you can continue taking the lug nuts off. Now, I will say, if this is something that you're attempting to do, or you have a blowout on or a flat tire on the highway or something, changing a tire on the side of the road may not be your best option. In our case, we could have called roadside assistance. We have that service with our car, but who wants to wait around for somebody to change your tire when it's just not a difficult thing to do. It could take forever for a tow truck to come to either change the tire or take it somewhere else. So, I just assume do it myself. But if you're on the side of the road, generally speaking, there's no harm in driving your car on a flat at a extremely low speed to get to a suitable place to change the tire. You'll have to decide what's right for you, but I'd rather get to a parking lot or something to change a tire. But in this case, we're here in a driveway. So got the spare off. A lot of people will recommend putting the spare underneath the car in case the jack fails. Again, I guess that's fine. I generally think that that involves probably putting your hands in danger and I don't know, making movements around the car and around the jack that you don't necessarily need to do. So I just set it off to the side. Mercedes doesn't have your typical lugs on the hub, so it's hard to get the wheel lined up. I like to lower the jack and get the hub directly in line with the slots in the wheels, and then just finger tighten all of the nuts in and get them reasonably seated. And once that's complete, I'll jack the car back up so that there's no pressure on the tire and I can get the wheel seated completely against the hub. So here you'll see I'll jack the tire up, make sure that it's off the ground and that there's no stress on the wheel at all. And I've already got them all started, and now I'm just going to give them a good quarter turn and make sure that the wheel is seated correctly against the hub. But all in all, this takes 10 to 15 minutes to do and probably will save you an hour and a half of waiting for a tow truck. Once you're confident that you've got them all seated, they don't have to be torqued, but they're firmly in place. Go ahead and lower the car down. Consult your owner's manual again. It'll tell you what your lug nuts need to be torqued to, and then torque them to that specification. Now, if you're on the side of the road, you don't have a torque wrench with you, that's okay. Tighten them as tight as you can, and drive to the nearest shop and have somebody check them and torque them appropriately, or go to where you do have a torque wrench and torque them appropriately. And I usually will drive the car a couple miles and then I'll check them one more time just to make sure everything's good. But if you don't feel confident in that, or your ability to get them torqued correctly, then have somebody do it, because it's important. Once that's done, I like to call for the inspection to see how the mini puppy dog likes it, and in this case I think we got an okay. So hopefully it's helped somebody, and in the future, if you find yourself in this situation, maybe you'll have a little bit of confidence to do it yourself. And yeah, good luck.